विष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी भक्तजगतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Please all of you repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Now we will repeat that verse, okay? Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Now all the men will recite together, okay? Please repeat. Rajavidya, together. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Now all Matajis together, okay? Yeah. Madhavi. Perfect, yeah, very good. So very happy to be here. I heard this program started some time ago and you all have been doing till 8th chapter. September it started. And you take some sessions and he takes some sessions. Alternately you share. Very wonderful. Your home is shifted from there to nearby? I came up. Correct, yeah. Very nice book. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I had given a heading, King of Knowledge, isn't it? You see, in this world, anything you want to do, you need sound knowledge, practical knowledge. I heard a story. Once there was a big ship which was supposed to carry a lot of cargo, heavy duty ship, but the ship was not starting. So they were making different things they tried. And the time was getting closer and then the ship had to delay for 2-3 hours. At last they brought one specialist. So that fellow put on the switch and he heard the sound of the ship. Immediately he said, yes, I found out. So he went to one particular place and took one hammer, but he hit like this. And then he said, yes, the job is done. You have to pay 20,000 rupees charges, he said. So the man, the captain of the ship told him, Hare, you just hit. For the hit you are asking 20,000, he said. He said, no, for the hit I take only 100 rupees, he said. Why are you taking 20,000? He said, 19,900 I took to know where it is to be hit. Correct, no? And that particular place you hit, then the ship works after that. So that knowledge was there with that fellow. Correct, no? Hitting anybody can do. So, Prabhupada says, if one gains the perfect knowledge, then you know how to go back home, back to Godhead. So, if that particular knowledge is given to you, very easily you can go back to Godhead. If that knowledge is not obtained properly in Guru Parampara, you may have huge knowledge, lot of things in this world, but that knowledge is useless, which will not be able to take us back to Godhead. So that is why uh, when we talk about knowledge, people think all knowledge is same. They think it's not so. There were 4 Gurukul boys who graduated from a Gurukula, but their attitudes were not proper. So when they were going through a forest pathway, they were very proud of their knowledge. So in one place they saw a skeleton of a tiger. But they didn't see the full skeleton. It was all broken down, lying. So one of them said, I know how to assemble it. Another one said, I know how to give flesh and, shape to that. They said. And third one said, I know how to bring the soul back into the body. And the fourth one said, wait a minute, before you guys do anything, give me some time to climb up the tree. So who's the smartest fellow? Last one. Because the other 3 fellows misused their knowledge. The knowledge they had became the cause of their death, because they were very proud of the knowledge, but the knowledge actually didn't come to help them, rather it harmed them. Therefore, when we are talking about knowledge, there is material knowledge, there is material knowledge coming from speculative brain. Then there is material knowledge coming from the Vedas. Then there is spiritual knowledge in the Vedas. There are 3. It's called as avidya, aparavidya, and paravidya. Avidya means ignorance or nescience, which is actually speculated by scientists, researchers, with their senses which have 4 defects. You all know the 4 defects? What are the 4 defects in any human being? Huh? Oh, no. Those are 4 sinful activities. 4 defects are, one is we have imperfect senses and we are put into illusion. We commit mistakes and we also have cheating propensity. These 4 things. All are connected also. For example, we have imperfect senses, which means because of our imperfect senses, we commit mistakes, correct? No? So, imperfect senses lead to illusion leads to mistakes lead to hiding the mistakes, cheating. These are there in humans, but in acharyas don't have this. Acharyas who are pure, they don't give any knowledge which is not given to them from the Guru Parampara. So that knowledge is completely pure. So therefore the knowledge has to be received in an unbroken chain of disciplic succession, which is called Parampara, we call it. Even Krishna says that in 4th chapter, Evam Parampara Praptam, he says that. So, if perfect, for example, say somebody has a Reynolds pen here, anybody? Say you have a Reynolds pen, it's white in color with a blue cap, correct? You all know that. So I am hiding the blue cap. I am showing only the white portion. And imagine if there is a blackboard here. And I keep my pen like this and ask you, what is this in my hand? What are most people likely to say? Chalk. But then I tell him, sir, this is not a chalk, this is a pen. And he tells him. And he tells him. In this way, it spreads to the entire room. Now the entire members in this room know that what I am holding is not a chalk, but a pen. How did they learn it? True? No, that is correct, but I'm looking for one specific thing. Yeah? Teacher, of course, teacher said they know it, but one particular word. Actually, they learned by hearing, not by seeing. Because when you saw this in my hand, what did you think it to be? Chalk. Whereas you heard that it looks like a chalk, and why did you do that? Because contextual. Here is the blackboard. Naturally, you must be holding a chalk. But then I told you, it looks like a chalk, my dear friend, but it's not a chalk. It is a pen. So you heard and learned. So it's called a Shruta Ikshita Path. Shruta Ikshita. Hear and then see. So that is the path which is the spiritual knowledge. So, but most of the researchers in the modern times, if you see, they use their senses to study. That means they don't hear and learn. They see and try to, do some research and speculate. And therefore, a lot of problems now. Like the plastics were very convenient. All the petroleum products which were dug from the ground, it's creating so many problems right now. Because they thought it will be very helpful, but they become very harmful. God created a very beautiful world. Man has created a mess because of using speculative knowledge, which is called avidya, we call it. But above avidya, there are two more I told you. Aparavidya and paravidya. Aparavidya means non-transcendental portion of the Vedas. Like, for example, Ayurveda. It's mainly for your good health. Vastu Shastra. This way, many other things are there also. Metallurgy is there. But this information is also material, but it is given by God. But what knowledge we have in the modern times is material knowledge speculated by man. Correct, no? You understand the difference? So, avidya, aparavidya, and above that is transcendental knowledge, which is Bhagavad Gita, which you all are coming and learning here. You are in the 9th chapter now. So, what is so special about Paravidya? The transcendental knowledge will teach you most essentially three things. Please all of you repeat. Matter, spirit, and controller of both. These three things are taught in Paravidya. So you can remember MSc. Many people hold MSc degree, but they may not know about this. Who is MSc? Matter, spirit, and controller of both. When you learn about these three things, then it is Paravidya. It is especially talking about the ninth spiritual element, which is different from 8 material elements. Now, who can tell me what are the 8 material elements? 5 material elements you all know. We call them as Panchamahabhut. And above that, what are those 3 subtle elements? Mind, intelligence, ego. The beyond that is the soul, Atma, which is different from the 8 elements. Why it is different? Because that is spiritual. Whereas these items are material. That you all know, correct? There's a gross body, then there is subtle body, and then there is Atma. So, in this chapter, Lord Krishna is telling, my dear Arjuna, I will teach you king of all knowledge. He is telling. Why he is calling it as king? The reason is, in even knowledge about soul is itself very special, Paravidya. 2nd, 3rd chapter, you all studied about soul. You remember? And 7th and 8th chapter, you studied about God. Krishna says how he is the source of all material worlds, how he is the source of all spiritual world. Then how he is the essence of everything. You learned about the Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya, Prabhatmi Shajichuryo, correct? 7th chapter you learned. So God is the cause of all causes, essence of everything, best of it, all that you learned. So after that, now you are going to learn something special now. The 2nd, 3rd chapter you learned about the soul. 7th, 8th chapter learned about God and something about devotion service in 8th chapter. 8th chapter you talk about material world and spiritual world, correct? And then remembering Krishna through yoga path, remembering Krishna through bhakti path, that you learn. But in this chapter, the entire chapter is about loving devotional service. Therefore, it is considered as king of all knowledge. For example, you will find in our life, we do many things in our life. But most important thing is for anybody, like for example, a boy goes to school, he studies. A boy plays games. A boy may do some hobbies and activities. But for a child like this, the most important thing is his connection to his parents. Correct now? Because everything else is secondary. Correct now? In the same manner, for the jiva, the most important thing is connection with God. And what relationship you have, what connection you have. Other things are secondary. So, the 2nd, 3rd chapter doesn't give you very deep information about everything, because it only tells you you are not the body or the soul. That leaves you for speculating about, is the soul God or soul is everything. People think like that. But soul is only resident of the body. But there is also a president in the body. Who is the president? Super soul. Soul is not president. Soul is resident. You are residing in the body, but who is presiding the body? Paramatma. Super soul. So that's like 2 birds sitting in a tree. Huh? So, I'll show you some things. Again. Okay. Is it big enough? It's pretty small, I think. Uh, okay. I'll make it more. I'll show you another one. That'll be more easy for you. This will be better, I think. Okay. So, this is the beginning of this chapter. This verse I'll show you here. Okay. It'll be good to see this before we go to this verse. See, this is the beginning of this chapter. Lord Krishna says um, two very important qualifications to know the confidential relationship between God and the soul. Two very important qualifications. He says to Arjuna, please all of you repeat this. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. See, here he says anasuyave. Anasuya means non-envious. One should not be envious of God. Then one cannot see God. Krishna says that I don't give my knowledge about myself to those who are envious of me, he says. Who are the people who are envious of God? Those who claim that they are themselves God. Huh? There are even Swamis wearing dressed like this color also, who say that Atma and Paramatma are one. How many of you heard such a philosophy? You have not heard that in India? You have not heard? Yeah. That there are people who say you are only God. Huh? In a, Vyavaharika level now, you are Jiva, but then Paramarthika level, you will become one with God. Correct or not? You have heard that? Huh? You see, a drop of water in the ocean, you know, it is same with the ocean and it is different from the ocean also. Huh? Now, how is it same? If you take a bottle of water from the ocean and test it in lab, the percentage of salt in this bottle of water and the ocean will be same. Percentage is same. That is similarity. This is also water, that's also water. But one drop of water, does it have waves? But the ocean has waves. Can one drop of water wreck a ship? But the ocean can wreck a ship. Correct? Does one drop of water has whales? Timingalam? Ocean has Timingalam. These are the differences. That means the drop of water has differences also with the ocean and also similarities to ocean. Another example. Take, for example, you are wearing a gold earring, gold nose ring, golden necklace, golden bangles, and compare the golden mountain. So what are the similarities? Both are both are gold. What are the differences? Quantity is different. That is gold mountain, and this is small quantity of gold. Correct? No. Similarly, God made the sun. We can only make a mercury bulb. God made the moon. We can only make dome light. God made oceans. We make swimming pools. God made Saturn and Jupiter, big planets floating in orbit. We can only put a Sputnik in orbit. You agree? So God does big things. We do small things. You see, in America, one man asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, why does God need Jagannath? He needs such a big cart. What does he need? Prabhupada said, see, God is great, therefore he has a big car. You are small, you have a small car. He said, be happy with your small car. Don't be envious of God, he said. So, as soon as you talk about Krishna, there are so many envious people who will criticize Krishna. They will say that he was only a coward boy. Some people will say that he is a characterless man. They will say. There are so many people who criticize because their knowledge about the scriptures is incomplete. They have no understanding or depth of knowledge about God. There is the vast Shastras are so oceanic. I will tell you a real story. In my company where I was working after my college days in IIT, there was one colleague of mine, one gentleman came and said he's a great Krishna devotee, and in his village he has given the name Sri Krishnapur to one area. I said, wonderful, you are a great devotee. And another day he was singing a very dirty cinema song. Then I told him, see, you claim to be Krishna devotee, you can't be singing such dirty cinema songs. He said, no, no, no. Once in a while it's all right to do such things. Even Krishna danced with gopis, like that he was saying. Then I said, so what do you mean? What is your understanding of Krishna dancing with gopis? You know, if Lord can, do such things, why can't we also sing some loose songs, some cinema songs? He asked me. Then I told him, do you know what was Krishna's age when he danced with gopis? So he wasn't aware. He said, maybe 20, 25. He said, no, Bhagavatam says 8 years. He was only 8-year-old boy. Do you know when did Krishna lift the Govardhan hill? He was 7 years. Do you know what age Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya? He was 5.5. 5 years and 7 months. 5 years and 7 months he danced on Kaliya. When he killed Putana, he was only a few days older. So I told him these things from Bhagavatam. Then I asked him, you see, if you are saying that any man, any college boy can dance with girls, dandiya ras, you say, then they have to first lift the Govardhan hill. At least a table they have to lift. So, and also they have to dance on, Prabhupada said, they have to dance on the hoods of at least 1 or 2 hooded serpent, at least. If not 1,000 hooded serpent. After that you can dance with girls, he said, Prabhupada said. Not only that, Prabhupada said, while dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, you have to smile also. Because Krishna was continuously smiling. So when I told him this, he said, who knows whether all those stories are true? These are all just a bunch of stories. I said, oh, really? If this is a bunch of story, Krishna dancing on Kaliya, Krishna lifting Govardhan hill, then Krishna dancing with gopis also should be what? False. If you say this is story, that is also story, then you throw both the things out of the window. You are taking the second thing. Which one? Dancing with gopis. And your first one you are rejecting. This is called Ardha Kokutanyai, which means you take a hen which is laying golden eggs from behind. You cut it into half, saying that I don't want to feed the hen, but I'll keep on taking eggs. Will it come? So Ardha Kokutanyai means taking Shastra and taking only things which you want to imitate and rejecting other things. This is the meaning of cheaters. So he was thoroughly exposed when I told him this. Then I said, see, you are simply bluffing with no proper knowledge of the scriptures. First, shut your mouth and study the scriptures under the guidance of a Vaishnava Guru. Then you talk about Krishna. Don't criticize the character of Krishna without any knowledge. Told him. So that is what Prabhupada says in this purport. These are envious people. Envious people want to imitate whatever Krishna did. Like, an envious person may steal a mobile in the company and say, Krishna also stole butter. So can't I steal mobile? Is it the same? See, when Krishna steals butter, all the butter in the entire creation is created by him only. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate, Krishna says that. Whereas this person who is stealing mobile, he is not stealing what belongs to him. He is stealing someone else's property. If thief is stealing a mobile, he will be whipped by the police with a belt. Whereas when Krishna steals butter, he is glorified as Makanchor. Is it not true? So, uninformed, foolish people or envious people, they can't give knowledge about Krishna. Therefore, you have to hear unadulterated information from the sacred scriptures coming down in the Guru Parampara. One should hear from a Vaishnava Guru. Vaishnava actually means one who understands the personality of Godhead and understands the path of devotional service, which is explained in this chapter. That is why the word Guhyam is explained. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. So why it is king of knowledge? Because there is a Guhya Jnana, Guhyatara Jnana, Guhyatama Jnana. It is positive, comparative, superlative, correct, no? Like you say, good, better, best. So the knowledge about soul explained in 2nd, 3rd chapter that is Guhya Jnana. And Guhyatara is 7th and 8th chapters, which talks about God and something about meditating on God. Whereas this one, what you're learning in this 9th chapter is Guhyatamagyan, which is most confidential knowledge, which is understandable only by devotees. So two conditions Krishna says. If my devotee is if a person is non-envious and he has faith in me, then only he can understand this knowledge. I'll tell you one Puranic episode in this connection. Once upon a time, mother was sending her small boy to a Gurukula. And after a few years, the Guru told the boy that now there is one more Gurukul, which is ahead of the jungle. I would suggest you to go there and learn some more advanced things. So now tomorrow onwards you start going to that Gurukul. He said, another teacher will teach you. Just like children sometimes after finishing 5th standard, they go to another school to join 6th standard, isn't it? Like that the Guru sent him. So when this boy went through the forest, after a couple of days, he came back and told his mother, Mom, I won't go. Now I am very afraid, he said, because in the forest I hear some roaring of sometimes elephants or foxes and other things. I am little afraid. The mom said, Beta, why are you so afraid? You can remember your elder brother, Gopal. He will escort you and he will always protect you. He asked, you never told me I have a brother. I thought I am the only son. Then she explained, your elder brother Gopal, he has a beautiful peacock feather on his hair. He has curly locks of hair. He plays on a flute. He wears a dazzling yellow colored dhoti. He is very charming to look at. Mm. He is worshipped by all great devatas. And his name is Gopal. She described the form of Krishna. And then anytime anyone remembers him and calls him, immediately he will come. She said, whenever you have any danger, you just remember him. You'll be protected. So the boy was very happy now. He was going through the forest. One day he saw a snake slithering from one side of the road to the other side. Immediately he called out Gopal. Next moment Gopal appeared there. As soon as he appeared, the snake disappeared. So then he caught his hand, told the boy, I will escort you and walk you through the forest. And this boy felt so happy, immensely happy. For the first time he is seeing the Lord. And they both were talking and chatting, and then he left him at the end of the forest, close to the Gurukul. And Gopal disappeared. The boy was very happy. So in this way, occasionally on and off, the boy would call him and Krishna would appear. So one of the days it happened to be a Guru Purnima day. So all the boys decided to bring some specially cooked item from home. Go and give it to the Guruji. Somebody brought this much size vessel, somebody brought bigger one. All boys brought many, many different type of offerings. So this boy was thinking, I come from a very poor family, what will I carry with me? So when he went home, his mother had a high fever and she couldn't cook anything in the night. Boy thought, maybe let me ask her in the early morning. But her fever continued in the morning. So he didn't want to disturb the mother. Also, he was walking with empty hands. And then he thought, anyway, Gopal is always there, I can ask him. He will give something. So he called Gopal. He used to always sing his names. What is that? Kartal? That's Mridanga. Jai Jai Nanda Yashoda Dula Girivaradhari Gopal. Jai Jai Nanda Yashoda Dula Girivaradhari Gopal, 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 Gopal. So when he sang, sure enough, Krishna not only appeared, to his great amazement, he brought actually a vati full of item called, it's called as Paramana. Paramanna. Paramanna means something like a rabdi kind of thing. You all know rabdi? Rabdi sweet. Very nice item. So he gave one vati to the boy and said, I know why you have called me. You want to give something to your guru, you can take it. It was just a small one like this much size. So the boy took it happily. So when he went and gave it to Guru, the boy was a bit ashamed because everybody has given big, big vessels. I'm only giving small one. So when the Guru put the small one in one vessel, that vessel became full. The Guru was surprised. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamuduchite. He said, this is Purnam and that is also Purnam. It was full. So then Guru put in another bigger vessel. Wherever he put, it was all getting full, everything. The Guru suspected that something very unique. So he called the boy and said, hey, where you got this from? He said, my Gopal, my elder brother Gopal brought it. And he asked, who is Gopal? How does he look like? And the boy described it. And the Guru was like shocked. I have read about this personality, Gopal, in the scriptures. How he looks like. His description is exactly matching with Krishna that I have heard about. But this Guru was an impersonalist Guru. He never had faith in the personality of God. He thought God is ultimately impersonal. He thought like that. So he was thinking, really? Do you really see him? He asked him, oh, yes, I see him. So I will come with you. Let's go to the forest. And I'll hide behind the bush. And then you call Gopal. Let us see. And the boy said, no need to hide. You can stand here only. Because I call like that, he comes. I don't hide and watch him. But Guru said, this you cannot understand. I will hide behind the bush. You just call. When he is talking to you, I will see from inside the bush. So again the boy called. Gopal, 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 Govinda, Govinda, Gopal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopal, Krishna, Govinda, Govinda, Gopal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopal, Krishna, Govinda, Govinda, Gopal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopal. And the boy was very surprised. I have been calling him for quite a while. Why he is not coming? Then he had tears in his eyes. He asked, Gopal, what happened? My teacher wants to see you. Why you are not coming? And then there was Akashvani in the sky. He said, my dear Manikumar, his name was Manikumar. He asked him, he said, today you are putting me in a very embarrassing situation. He said, because you are calling me in front of somebody who doesn't believe in me. He doesn't believe in my form. I was coming to you whenever you called me because your mother is my pure devotee. She has been worshipping me since decades. She has deep faith in my existence and in devoting her life to me. And therefore, due to my affection for your mother who is a devotee, therefore, whenever you wanted my help, I came. And when I serve you, I know your mother will be pleased. Therefore, I came. But now you are embarrassing me, calling me in front of somebody who doesn't trust me. Please don't do that. Whenever you need something, don't worry. I know what you need and I will exactly come. Yoga Kshemam, Ahamya. I'll preserve what you have and I will provide you what you like. You never asked me Paramana. I gave you. Without your asking. So I will come whenever it's appropriate time, I will come. Now you don't invite me. And then the sound stopped and the Guruji came out of the bush, burst into tears and said, although I couldn't see the form of Krishna here, at least by his speech I could understand what he said. I feel ashamed. Now, although I have been studying all the Vedic literature for decades, I always maintain, I have been skeptical about whether God is personal or impersonal, suspicious about it. Therefore, due to that suspicion and lack of faith, I could not see him. And you, young boy, you are born of a devotee mother. And by her devotion, you attained his darshan. You are more blessed than me. Immediately, tomorrow morning, I am going to go to Hyderabad temple and purchase one Bhagavatam set. He said, I'm going to start studying Bhagavatam. Because in Bhagavatam, you get to connect with the personality of Godhead. Guruji said, enough of all my speculative study. Now I am going to surrender my heart to the personality of Godhead. He became a Krishna devotee from that day on. So, in this way, in the third verse, Krishna says, Ashraddadana purusha dharmasya asya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. My dear Arjun, if somebody does not have faith in this process of bhakti yoga, Aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. They come back to this world again. They take a U-turn and come back. It's like saying, if a rocket is going at 11 kilometers per second, it can go beyond the Gurutvakarshana, gravitational pull. But if the speed is lesser, it's like a Skylab once came back. Correct, no? It takes a U-turn and come back. He cannot go back to Godhead, the Lordship. So these are the two conditions. He says non-enviousness and faith are the two qualifications to receive most confidential knowledge. Like for example, we in the altar we have Radha Krishna. We decorate them very beautifully with nice dress. We give them very nice ornaments, mukut and jewelry and everything. We offer them bhoga, correct? No? All the varieties of items and everything. So somebody may see that, oh, why should God accept so much of worship from us? So people wonder, why not worship me? Why do you worship him? This kind of envy some living beings feel. So once I was telling, see, if all the children in a school follow the principal, then the children get good education. Correct? No? If all the members working in a company follow the CEO, they get a good salary package. Correct? No? If you're working in a team, you please the boss, you get promotion. Correct? No? Anywhere you see a plural subordinates are serving singular supreme. Everywhere you will see that. So we are millions and millions of jivas in this world. We must be having one supreme to please. And pleasing that supreme, like for example, all the limbs of the body are serving the belly, and the belly gives nourishment to all the parts. It goes like this, and comes like this. Like all the people of India, they agree with the Prime Minister and they pay the tax and everything. So it goes up and then the welfare comes up, down, top down. Correct, no? Like for example, my hand is taking a laddu and giving it to belly. Then the belly gives blood flow to the hand and then gives nourishment to the hand. You agree? That means parts serve the whole and the whole nourishes the parts. So in the same manner, one should not hesitate to come forward to serve the Lord lovingly. At least in the beginning, we should do it as a duty. Eventually, it will turn into love. We can affectionately serve with no hesitation. Then the whatever envy or lack of faith will be there. It will all go away. So as we hear this knowledge, it will. So the one word is very nicely explained here. I'll just show you. See, this I told you already. Chapter 2 and 3 are confidential and more confidential. 7 and 8 and chapter 9 is most confidential because it deals with Shuddha Bhakti. Yeah. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. So now you understood why it is Guhyam. Just now I told you. Is confidential knowledge. Activities of, actually this chapter explains about the activities of the soul, Prabhupada says. See, Jnanis, what they do, Jnanis sit in one place and they say, Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Brahma Asmi, which means I am spirit soul. I am not this body, material body. I am spirit soul. Repeatedly they give affirmation to themselves to remind that I am pure, I am spirit soul, I am not this body. But this is not enough. Why? Imagine, for example, one of you finished engineering in engineering college and then you join Infosys and there you say, I am a computer science engineer. I am a computer science engineer. They will say, come on, do some work. If you are an engineer, you should act as an engineer. Similarly, you say, I am Brahmasmi. Okay, you are Brahman, but what are you doing on the platform of Brahman? Is Brahman supposed to be inactive or Brahman supposed to be active? So devotional service means activities on the Brahman platform. When you realize that, see, there are two levels. Right now, we are all thinking we are the body. Then we realize in 0, 0, you realize I am not the body, I am spirit soul. In the positive axis, you act in the platform of spirit soul. Correct, no? See, how many of you have done sack race? You have experience of sack race in your school days. You have done. You know sack race? You go inside a sack and you run. You try to run. And, how many of you have done that? You have done that? Yeah. Which means even inside a sack also the living entity is able to run and get a prize. Correct, no? If you remove the sack, how much more he can run? Similarly, right now this material body is like a sack for the soul. Inside sitting in this body, we all are so active now. Imagine when the soul comes out of this body, how much more he will be active. Soul, eternally speaking, is very, very kriyashil. It's very active. But simply liberating the soul from matter is not the ultimate goal of life. Liberating soul from matter is the first step. After that, one has to act on the platform of soul in the spiritual plane. Correct? So in the 15th chapter of the Gita, like Krishna says, there's upside down tree. You've heard about that? Huh? There's upside down. Where do you see a tree's root upwards and branches down? Where do you see? Only in the bank of in a lake or something you will see. Where the trees are standing like this and in the water, the reflection is looking upside down. So in the same manner, Krishna is saying this is negative axis and there is a positive axis and there is 0, 0. So going from, see, negative axis is full of suffering, which nobody need to be told. You all know. How many of you know in this world there is suffering? Correct, no? Nobody need to prove to you. We all are experiencing. Going from a suffering platform to 0, 0, that is, that is actually coming to Brahman. Beyond 0, the positive axis is devotional service. So in that connection, I have a PPT. I will just show you. That will make it very easy for you. You can see this. See, first I am showing you non-devotee materialist is called Nastik. And a pious materialist is called Astik. And Jnani or a yogi spiritualist, they are higher than Astik also. See, what is the difference between Astik and Jnani? Astik person is a pious person, goes to temples, but his center is himself only. Oh God, give me this, give me that. He goes to different temples and prays. Correct? He's an Astik person. But Jnani is one who wants to get liberated from the material world and go to the Brahman platform. And a Bhakta Yogi, a spiritualist, is a Krishna Bhakta. He acts on the spiritual platform. Okay, here you see. What is the motivation? Non-devotee means just eat, drink and be merry. That's all. They have no goal. And then Astik person, his goal is, profits and pleasure, artha and kama. Correct? And a person, Jnani, want to get moksha. I want to stop the cycle of birth and death. See, in negative axis, you are feeling the pinch of birth and death. But in 0, 0, that pinch is removed. But there is no positive happiness there. Positive happiness is in the positive axis, which is when you get Krishna Prem, love of God. You enter into the spiritual planets, Vaikuntha planets, where you meet Lord face to face, and in 5 rasas you exchange. How many of you heard about that? Like Nanda, Yashoda, Krishna having relation with Yashoda as a mother. Correct? 5 rasas you heard about: Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalaras, Madhuryaras. So I'll show you one small episode. You will appreciate this. Sound is not coming. Here only. Here only I can show it here if you want. This is Yashoda, mother.
விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் பொல்லாத விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் பொல்லாத விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் வேடிக்கையாய் பாட்டு பாடி விதம் விதமாய் ஆட்டம் ஆடி நாழிக்கொரு லீலை செய்யும் நந்த கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் வேடிக்கையாய் பாட்டு பாடி விதம் விதமாய் ஆட்டம் ஆடி நாழிக்கொரு லீலை செய்யும் நந்த கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் பொல்லாத தீராத விஷமக்கார கண்ணன் விஷமக்கார கண்ணன்.
The monkeys and everything. So what she does, he puts it in the top. Huh? And then Krishna comes and then he sees that now I can't catch it now. I can't jump and catch it. So he brings his friends, makes a pyramid, climbs up, breaks the pot, it drops down. Then he feeds the monkeys, feeds the friends, and he also eats it. You saw how he was eating. Huh? He eats it also. And then everything is scattered. And then he sees Mother Yashoda coming. You saw him afraid, running away, isn't it? So these are some of the pristine and pure pastimes of the spiritual world where the absolute truth, ultimate God, is playing the part of a small child of Yashoda like this, who is actually, when you get liberated, beyond the liberation, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Mad Bhaktir Labate Param. Real bhakti starts after liberation platform, where you enter into positive relationships. So to make it very simple, I will give you an analogy you will appreciate. See, if a husband wife, for example, say they are quarreling for some reason, they have an argument. So the home is filled with quarrel like Kurukshetra, we say. So it's a very unpleasant home, isn't it? That's negative axis. In 0, the wife goes to her parents' home. And now husband is cooking himself here. So there is no sound there because there is no possibility of sound. Both are in two different places, correct? And in positive axis, they both decide that if we are separated, we are not happy. If we are quarreling, we are not happy. Better, let us understand each other and, cooperatively stay. Children also are with us. They should not learn a bad example. So they modify their behavior and then they learn to, live happily together, loving each other. That is positive axis, correct now? Similarly, when the jiva has turned away from God, he comes to this material world. That is the negative axis where, he is struggling with material nature to enjoy. When he gives up that struggle, he goes to 0, moksha platform, where he doesn't connect with God, but he wants to be enjoying the freedom from birth and death. Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchanta namayam, which means after getting liberated, then one has to enter the spiritual world. If he doesn't enter spiritual world, he just remains suspended in the Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, which is like really, for example, I call one of you here and I pinch you everywhere. You say, hey, Prabhuji, why are you pinching me? Now I say, I won't pinch you. Go and sit in your place. Have I given you anything? I have done any favor to you or no favor? Yes, I have done one favor to you. I have relieved you from pinching. That's what jnanis get. Jnanis are getting the pinch of cycle, birth, death, old age, disease. Then they are relieved. Okay, go. And then Brahma Jyoti, now they are not feeling any pinch. But there is nothing gain. But real gain means I call you and give you a water full of gulab jamun floating in a golden liquid with a spoon. I say, please take it. Then something positive. And that is like positive axis. So this Jainism, Buddhism, Voidism, Nirvana and all these things, they all are trying to go beyond the pinch. That's all. They just want to get rid of suffering. You ask any Jain or Buddhist, what's your ultimate goal? They will say, stop the cycle of birth and death. And be silent, don't talk. Get rid of this suffering in this world. Okay, then what? What do you do when you go to Nirvana? You experience the joy of silence. They don't know anything beyond that. But when you go beyond that 0 to the positive axis, then you can relate with God personally. Like right in this world, you see people are having husband, wife, children, mother, father. The home is a very vibrant place. Is it not true? But here also you experience happiness, but that happiness is mixed with suffering. How many of you agree? Correct? Are you experiencing only happiness or it's mixed with suffering? Mixed with suffering. It's like sweet rice with stone particles. But if you want only sweet rice, then you have to go to spiritual world where the relationships are all completely pure. It's like only fire. Here there is fire and smoke. Because why this fire and smoke has come? The jivas have come in this world with a bhoga vritti. Whereas in spiritual world there is only seva vritti. Here there's a mixture of bhoga and seva, like all of us, we are all devotees. We want to serve God also. We also want to do some selfish enjoyment also. That much proportion we suffer also. In this world. All people are giving trouble to one another in this world. Whereas in spiritual world, all jivas are centered around God. Like you saw Yashoda, I showed you. Their love for God is pure, and they all respect one another. They're non-envious. Uh, and their Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion, makes the spiritual world the fifth degree, which is Anandamaya. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Taittiriya Upanishad says that Raso Vaisaha Rasam Yevayam Labdva Anandi Bhavati. It says. Anandi means one experience the ocean of bliss, the spiritual world. And that ocean of bliss comes from relationships. Like here, Yashoda is experiencing great bliss in the company of Krishna in the mood of a mother-son relationship. Similarly, coward boys go with Krishna to the forest of Raj, experience the mood of a friend. Arjuna also is a friend of Krishna. Then there are those who are servants of Krishna. Then there are gopis who are lovers of Krishna. So in this way, spiritual world is filled with relationships. So you all have a choice. Where do you want to go? So do you want to just get relief from this pinch of birth and death? Or you want to enter the world where you meet the Lord and the devotees, where they all have personal loving relationship with God? The choice is yours. So there are three. I'm going to conclude the talk now because like here you see, eat, drink and be merry, this first category. And second category is they worship different devatas for getting different benefits. And the jnanis are speculating and doing some austerities, penances, and for getting liberation. And finally, if you see bhaktas, they hear in Guru Parampara and they practice bhakti yoga to Krishna, Vishnu or Rama with body, mind and words, and then they enter the spiritual world. So karmis who are eat, drink and be merry, they can get animal body. Or they may go to hell for their punishment for their wrongdoings. And those pious people, they get repeatedly human body. They may go to heaven and enjoy the punya and come back again. And sinners go to hell and come back. And the jnanis may attain moksha, but then they don't. It's like hovering in a spiritual plane in the Brahman Jyoti light. And shanti, 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 that's all. They experience only peace. So this negative axis is suffering, 0, 0 is peace, positive axis is love. So you have the choice, which one you want. In 1991, when I joined IIT Bombay, 1990, I had gone to the Chinmaya mission behind IIT. So on the first day, I put my bag in the room and I went there to meet the Swamiji and ask some questions. I wasn't introduced to ISKCON by the time. It was in 89, 90. So they had a temple where there was a Shiva on one side, on the other side there was Krishna. So there was one brahmachari, I asked him, how you have Shiva and Krishna? He said, if you want peace, there is Shiva. If you want love, there is Krishna. So many of the worshippers of Shiva, they want to attain moksha, correct? No? Get liberated and get peace. And those who understand the path of love. So now, which is superior? Is peace superior or love superior ultimately? But recently, when I went to America, I asked this amongst the American students. There were about 60, 70 of them, all American-bodied. I asked, which one you are looking for, peace or love? Everybody opted for peace. And I was shocked. And I asked, so which is greater, peace or love? They said, peace is greater. Then I asked them an explanation. Why do you say so? They said, we have already broken love, therefore we want peace. They said. Then I told them, now I understand you guys. Your broken love is actually negative axis. So you're comparing negative axis, broken love with the peace which is 0, 0. But I am talking about love in which platform? Positive axis, spiritual love. That you have no experience of, you don't know what it is. I told them that eventually first of all, you understand peace and then you will understand love also. So that love, it has peace as a subset. Peace is inside it, like Yashoda is experiencing great joy. So, just like for example, in family life, you all take trouble. Why? Because there is some love also there, correct? No? Yeah. Like when a tender child is born, Papa, Mama is speaking with totally boli, it's very sweet to hear, correct? No? You get some joy also. Similarly, a man goes to company, works hard and brings money and maintains wife and children because there is some happiness there. The only problem is happiness mixed with suffering. Whereas in spiritual world, it's only happiness because your body never gets old. It never dies. There's no disease. And there is no end to the body. Eternally, there is the exchange of love there. And that is the result of Bhakti Yoga. If you practice Bhakti Yoga, that's the destination. So in conclusion, one interesting example I will tell you. This you can very easily understand. The concluding point, I will make it, and then we can take one question. I think. See, three types of people I have shown here. See, the jnanis realize Brahman future, impersonal, right? Yogis can realize Paramatma future, who's super soul in the heart. And Bhaktas realize Bhagavan future, which is Lord Krishna. Correct? So, if you see a mountain like this, when you're going in a train, the mountain looks very hazy from a distance, correct? When the train draws closer to the mountain, the same mountain will look like this. Little more greenery you see. And when the train comes even more closer, then you see some people also going up, coming down. See here. There are some people living also. In the same manner, the absolute truth, jnanis understand it as Om, Brahman. It's like big effulgence, bright effulgence. That's all they understand. No more detail beyond this, they understand. And Lord gives them only this much information because they are not looking for striking personal relationship with the Lord. And Paramatmavadis, they see the Lord's 400 form. He is present in the heart of all jivas and also in every atom also. The Lord says, Raniyo Mahato Mahyan is present. So they see this form, Vishnu form, in the heart of all. Then those who are Bhagavan realization, they see this form, Shyam Sundar form. It is exactly similar to, say, we are all Indian citizens. You might not have seen Narendra Modi personally, but you are connected to the government where you pay taxes, correct? No? So Sarkar is Nirakar. But behind the Nirakar Sarkar, the Pradhan Mantri is not Nirakar. He is a person. And he has two roles to play. One is his role in the Parliament House and his role in his home. In the Parliament House on 15th August, everybody salutes him. Army, Navy, Air Force, everybody, left, right, left, and they all salute. So there he is receiving respect. Whereas in his home, he is bowing down to his mother. How many of you have seen that photo? Correct, na? Yeah. In the same manner, Brahma Jyoti is like the Nirakar Sarkar. And the Parliament House where Krishna is, that is Vaikuntha, where he is having Shankh Chakra Gada Padma and all are saluting him. Lakshmi Narayana are like mother and father. Everybody considers them the ultimate. There is nobody beyond them. And then when you go to the home of the Lord, that is Golaka Vrindavan, where he doesn't play the role of God, but he becomes an intimate friend of all. What type of intimate friend he becomes? I'll show you one little. See.
Hey, what do you want, my fine feathered friends?
See, here is God. Generally, I used to think God must be a very, very busy person, because there's millions of universes. He has to send one Vaman avatar there, one Narsinga avatar here. How busy he must be having a schedule, who went where and all that. But here is he sitting under a tree on a rock very coolly. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. He has no work to do. Really? God has no work to do? Natat samaschapyadikascha drishyate. There is no one equal to him or greater than him. Parasya shaktir vividaiva shruyate. All his energies do his work. He gets it all done through his energies. Svabhavaki jnana balakriyacha. It happens as if it is automatic. Very easily he gets things done through others. Even in Pune, we have one billionaire. He has got 10 bungalows. So recently those bungalows have turned 100 years old. He's demolishing and making new ones. But guess, do you think he's taking much trouble? All he has to do is throw, like you say, throw peanuts and get monkeys. You throw money and there are people to demolish the house and build new houses. Correct, no? And he's sitting comfortably in one bungalow. So he is giving money and getting the work done. Money is also, in Sanskrit, we call it as Lakshmi. Correct, no? This fellow may be a Karodapati, but there are people who are Arapatis. There are people who are Karapatis. And Krishna is Lakshmipati. Correct, no? So he gets all the work done. His energies will do all the work for him. So he is coolly sitting. But what is he doing? He has one very important work to do, to exchange love with his devotees. Here a peacock is coming, is asking, what can I do for you? Generally, we go to God and ask, oh God, tell me what I can do for you. Correct, no? But he's asking, what can I do for you. And the peacock is saying, please play a tune.
I see. What shall I play then? An excellent choice.
He is asking the peacock, what is your choice of tune? And then the peacock is showing one particular tune. And what is he saying? He's appreciating. See, this is miraculous. First of all, he is asking, how can I serve you? And he's asking them to make the choice of the tune. He doesn't tell them, I will play a tune, you better you sit down and hear. He doesn't say that. What is your choice? Then when the peacock made one choice, he's saying, excellent choice. He's appreciative God. He's a friendly God. He's an appreciative God.
You are as gracious as you are beautiful. I will wear it with honor.
You see, the peacocks enjoyed the tune and then they wanted to offer something in reciprocation. So what they gave him? The peacock feather. Actually, feather is an insignificant thing. But Krishna wanted to show them how much I value your gift. So where he wore it? The top of his head. So in this way, even though Shabari gave some, eaten fruits, so Lord Rama accepted it. Sudama gave some chipped rice, Lord accepted it. Because it is given with love. Lord is cherishing. Similarly, here the peacocks are giving with love some peacock feather and he's wearing it on his head. So this is actually bhakti. Bhakti means when a devotee remembers the Lord's beautiful form, his qualities, his pastimes, and then through the chanting of the holy name and glorifying the Lord's holy fame and worshipping him through Navavida Bhakti, as we call it, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Swaranam, Bandhanam, all those things. So a devotee advances in this path by associating with those who are very advanced in this path. Like Srila Prabhupada was very advanced. Seeing him perform Bhakti Yoga, many people became very quickly advanced. Many of his disciples like that. Another way you advance is offenselessly chanting the holy name. How many of you already started chanting? Some rounds you're chanting? You are chanting? Yeah. So when you're chanting, Prabhupada said, what should be our mood? All of you please repeat. Oh Lord, purify me, uplift me, accept me. So this is the mood, he said, in which we should chant. Oh my Lord, purify my heart of Bhogavriti and let me adopt Sevavriti. I am degraded. Please uplift me from my lower position to a higher position. And then accept me as one of your devotees in the spiritual world and engage me in your seva. So this is a mood in which we should call out the holy name. So the holy name should be called without any offenses, without any pretension, or without any inattentiveness or something. We should not divert the mind to different things. So when we chant offenselessly, when you associate with very advanced devotees, and thirdly, if you render seva, like this month is a Gita Jayanti month. If each of you go to your colleagues in the office or neighborhood houses in your housing colony, or your blood relatives also, you write to them, ask them to take a copy of Bhagavad Gita. Tell them that if you have one, take it and keep it with you so that you can give it as a New Year gift to somebody. Or you can give it on their birthday as a birthday gift or marriage anniversary gift or something to somebody. So if they don't have one, you can ask them to take one for themselves. So if each of you reach out 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 Bhagavad Gitas to your friends, this type of rendering seva also makes you quickly become advanced. So 3 things Prabhupada writes in the purports: chanting the holy name inoffensively, purely, and rendering seva, and associating with very advanced devotees who are already sincerely practicing devotees who are relishing the bhakti. So these things make you realize the bhakti yoga very easily. And it's a very sweet process. Susukam kartam avayami says. It's very joyful because you all have been coming, this process has beautiful singing. We have dancing. We have prasadam. And some of you may have inclination for music. You will like the kirtans. Some of you may have inclination for dancing. Some of you may have inclination for study of philosophy. And then the deity form, if you have Radha Krishna deities, you can dress them, decorate them, ornament them, and you can absorb your consciousness in them. So the path of Bhakti Yoga is a very, very sweet process, unlike the other paths where one has to perform severe austerities. So it's called Susukam Kartam Aveyam. Pratyakshavagama means practically you can realize. I didn't get time to tell you today about one pastime of Narada, how he became a devotee. Actually, Narada, in the first life, he was a Gandharva who got a curse to become a Dasiputra. But as a Dasiputra, he met very advanced Vaishnavas who came to his village during Chaturmas period. They stayed for 4 months. So this boy went and, on the order of his mother, he went and served them prasad, washed their plates, gave them water, and he was available to them at their beck and call to do some seva for them. And by doing service for them, he developed attraction and affection for them. He heard their talks about Krishna's pastimes and he became purified. And they gave him mantra diksha before they left when Sharad Ritu started. So this boy later on performed chanting and meditation and attained darshan of Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu told him, now I gave you one glimpse now. In this life you will not see me again. So because you have to do 2 important things. Lord said you have to cleanse your heart fully and you have to render services. You have not attained fulfillment in services. These 2 things you do. At the end of life, you will give up this body and attain the body of a pure devotee, Narada. So that exactly happened. He went on to become a pure devotee in the next life. Lord came and gifted him his own veena. And then Lord told him, play this veena, sing songs, and go to heaven, go to spiritual world. Now you are free to travel wherever you want. And this way, Narada became a devotee by association with advanced devotees. So, Deva Dattam Yamam Venam Swara Brahma Vibhushitam Murchayitva Harikatam Gayamanascharammyaham. He says, from that day on, I am practicing and preaching devotion service. He went to Prahlad Maharaj, he made him devotee, he made Dhruva devotee, he made Prachina Parishat devotee, he made so many devotees, Narada Valmiki, he made devotee. Very famous devotees, Narada made them devotees. So every one of us sitting here, we have an opportunity to become a follower of Narada, become a follower of Srila Prabhupada, and attain this Shuddha Bhakti, which is actually a very wholesome and natural path. So, 2 reasons what inspired me to dedicate my life to ISKCON. I'll say that and I'll conclude my talk. One reason is I've been to a dozen organizations before coming to ISKCON. And in fact, when my 7th standard, I got Ramakrishna Mission, first book by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, his wisest sayings. Then I read Vivekananda's also. Then I went to Chinmaya Mission, I went. In fact, even Divine Life Society, Shiva and spent some time with different sannyasis asking questions. But when I came to ISKCON, what I liked here was, I found that you are not told to negate things, but you are taught to connect things to God. This is not teaching negating the negative, but engaging in the positive. For example, we can use our eyes to see the Lord's deity. We can use our ears to hear the lectures and kirtans. You can use your mouth to eat prasad and chant the holy name, isn't it? You can use your nose to accept the scent offered to the Lord. You can use your hands and legs to dance in the temple. So this I liked very much because it's very nice path. We can teach all the people of the world to do this. Even at home, we all can do this. You don't have to go to Himalayas and plug your nose or stand upside down and all that. You don't have to do. It's a very easy path, engaging your senses. You have seen those 3 monkeys, Buramat Deko, Buramat Bolo, Buramat Suno. That monkey only teaches you what not to do. They don't tell you what to do. Whereas in ISKCON, I saw we are taught what to do. That's Bhakti Yoga. The more you do Bhakti Yoga like this, you become an advanced devotee. This is one thing I liked. Another thing I liked was, Srila Prabhupada says that following in footsteps of Sripad Ramanujacharya, you all may be knowing, Ramacharya's guru gave him one mantra and told him, it's a secret mantra, don't tell anyone. If you tell anyone, you will go to hell. So Ramanuja thought that this mantra is capable of taking people to Vaikuntha. So if one person goes to hell and 1,000 people can go to Vaikuntha, it's a very good deal. So he climbed up on the top of the Gopuram, called the whole village, some 1,000, 2,000 people, and made an announcement of this mantra. Later on, Guru became angry. He went to meet the Guru and told, Guru, I agree with you. I will go to hell. I don't mind. Let me go to hell. Let them all go back to Vaikuntha and enjoy the association of the Lord. So Guru had tears in his eyes. He embraced him and patted him and said, my dear child, you have such a big heart. I deeply appreciate you, he said. In the same manner, Srila Prabhupada said, Prahlad Maharaj, Ramanujacharya, they all have the same mood. Prabhupada said, we have to have our ISKCON temples in the heart of the city. We should not go to Himalayas for our own moksha. We should live in the middle of the city, go to schools, go to colleges, go to companies, go to homes, go to tuition centers. This is a tuition center right now, isn't it? This way, go to different places and share this wisdom with people who are sincere seekers living in the society. Teach them how to live with their wife, children, family, job, everything. Along with that, how to take to Krishna consciousness. I really loved this because I thought I can be a useful element in society, living in the midst of the society and reaching out this knowledge to people rather than, making hard work for my own moksha alone. So these two things touched my heart very much. And I found his path very wholesome because it's body, mind, soul. All three can benefit from this practice. It's very smooth and easy practice without having to take much trouble. Because of your affection for the Lord takes care of everything. Just like one small child is sleeping on his shoulder, you can see that small baby. So how comfortable this baby is because he has nothing to worry. This child is such a fortunate child. He got a trustworthy man on whose shoulder he can peacefully sleep and he will take care of everything. Correct, no? Similarly, for us, Krishna is there. We can trust him and offer our lives to him. And he has promised us that I will take care. I will protect my devotees and I will take care. So the path of bhakti is a path of trust. The more you place trust, now this child, say for example, if he has to take a flight somewhere, child doesn't have to worry about making a ticket, getting money for making a ticket, or which plane to catch, what seat to sit. He doesn't have to worry. He just, because of his affection for the Father, he is connected to the Father. The Father takes care of everything. Krishna says the same thing for his devotees. And I'm not just speaking it. I joined this society in 1994. Since 94, I have been practicing. It's my personal realization that anyone who practices devotion service, Lord personally takes care. We have nothing to worry. Even a boy studying in engineering college, his father is sending money for everything. Correct, no? What to speak of some devotee? You do God's work and God will take care of you. Takes care of everything. So Draupadi had that faith. Pandavas had that faith. Prahlad had the faith. Ambarish had the faith. So this path is a path of pure faith and pure practice, Bhakti Yoga. You will learn more in the classes to come. So I gave you a briefing about Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram. It's a pure path which purifies all the sinful baggages. Uttamam. Tamam means darkness. Uttama means beyond darkness. The spiritual world is beyond the darkness and ignorance of material world. And the Pratyakshavagamam, you will practically realize the sweetness in this path. Susukam Kartam, it's joyfully performed. When we are doing kirtan, even children dance. And the dancing is counted as devotional service. So it's a very beautiful part. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. So it's pretty late now. We want to make some announcement.